Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and today's video I'm going to be discussing what I believe is Manchester United's strongest starting 11 with transfers. So the transfer window's closed, and including our new transfers, this video I'm going to be discussing how I believe Manchester United will line up for the 2021 season, what is our strongest 11 for the 2021 season, and more. So I'm going to go through each position and talk about who I believe should start in each position and why. And then once I've gone over the initial strongest starting 11, I'm going to talk about backup players. For example, I'll give one away now. Wan-Bissaka I believe is our best right back, but who would be our backup right back if Wan-Bissaka got injured? Now I would go with Brandon Williams, because now we've got Alex Telles in. We'd ship Brandon Williams off to the right back position. He'd be pushing out Wan-Bissaka with the right back position. So once I've gone over what I believe is my Manchester United strongest starting 11, including our new transfers, I'm going to talk about the backups in each areas and why, and then probably where we need to improve. But you know, this is my opinion and everyone has different opinions. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think is Manchester United's strongest starting 11 this season? Comment your strongest starting 11 down below, because you might disagree with mine, because we all have different opinions. You know, I see some people even saying that we should start Tedder Menga in, that he's the best centre-back at the club. You're all entitled to your own opinions. This is mine. I'm going to explain it. This is how I can probably see us lining up this season. This is what I believe our strongest 11 is. And also I'm going to start with probably one of the hardest picks, which is goalkeeper. Okay, but before I get into my goalkeeper, please hit that like button and subscribe down below. Might as well just put that out there. So goalkeeper, you've got Dean Henderson, David Hare, and we even have Romero, who really should have been sold, let's be honest. But we're not going to get into that. Dean Henderson, David De Gea. Now, I think that is such a tough decision, because whenever Dean Henderson plays, he's amazing. But De Gea is a world-class keeper. De Gea has made a few mistakes, but actually Ederson has made more mistakes than De Gea, leading to goals in the Premier League last season, but that doesn't get talked about. But, you know, it's really hard, because it's like, we can't really drop De Gea until he does anything wrong. I don't think De Gea has really done anything wrong this season. Maybe Dean Henderson is healthy competition, and you know, we know what De Gea can do. He's just been a bit off the last 2 years. I'm going to go with De Gea, but I have no issue if he started Dean Henderson over De Gea. I'd have no issue with that. I'm just going to go with De Gea because I know what his threshold is, although I do want to see Dean Henderson, but I've gone with De Gea for goalkeeper. That is probably the most difficult position. Right back, kind of gave it away, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now my two centre-backs, and here is where you guys might disagree with me, but I actually believe that Manchester United's best centre-back pairing is Lindelof and Bailly. And I know what you're thinking, Lindelof, did you see him versus Crystal Palace? Yeah, he was crap, he was awful, but Lindelof's defending versus Crystal Palace was better than Maguire's defending versus Spurs, in my opinion, which highlights how bad Harry Maguire is. And I think the reason we still play Harry Maguire is because of that £80 million price tag. That £80 million price tag, it feels like we have to play him. I feel like Ollie feels like he has to play him. And I like Maguire, and I thought Maguire and Lindelof last season, I thought they were solid centre-backs. We actually got the second most clean sheets across Europe's top at least. I thought Maguire and Lindelof on their own were solid centre-backs. I just didn't think they worked together last season because they were too slow. Now we saw Maguire and Bailly versus Spurs. Don't know if they work together, even though Bailly's quick. But we did see Bailly and Lindelof a couple times under Jose Mourinho, and we saw them against Brighton in the Carabao Cup where we clapped a clean sheet, and Bailly played like a beast. And I think, you know what, last season I would have said our strongest pairing was Maguire and Lindelof, even though they didn't work together. But I just think this season Maguire's been so poor. I don't know if this Greece thing has affected him. I'm not saying Maguire was worth £80 million, but he was an okay centre-back this season, but it's just been awful this season. And I think Victor Lindelof last season I actually thought was our best centre-back. And I think if you take away that Crystal Palace game at the start of the season, Victor Lindelof has actually been pretty solid. So that's why I've gone with Victor Lindelof and Bailly as my two first choice centre-backs. I believe that Ollie will never drop Maguire, but I generally think Lindelof and Bailly are our best centre-back pairing. And, you know, people are going to disagree with me on that. You know, we haven't seen much of Axel Tuanzebe, we haven't seen any of Mengi. But I would generally drop Harry Maguire. I think he deserves to be dropped. But that could be controversial. So yeah, that's why I say put your starting 11 in the comment section down below. Moving on to my left back, and I've gone with Alex Telles. Now I'm actually a big fan of Luke Shaw. I do like Luke Shaw. But after his performance against Spurs, he's got to be dropped. And Alex Telles is known for being a top-class right back, top-class left back. And going forward, Alex Telles provides so much that actually it's going to be really interesting to see him link up with Rashford. And I think we could see a very improved Rashford. So I've gone with Alex Telles. Now in the CDM role, I've gone with Nemanja Matic. I think Nemanja Matic is our preferred CDM. I think Fred hasn't done anything wrong. When Fred's played in that CDM role, he's always put in a shift, in my opinion. So Fred hasn't done anything wrong, and you know, it's a bit unfair to not play Fred because I think he's actually been better than Pogba this season so far. But I think Matic is our strongest CDM. However, I think in quicker paced games I'd probably go with Fred. box-to-box midfield, and this is one where right now I'd put Donny Van De Beek in. Right now I'd put Donny Van De Beek in. But as I'm looking at the season as a whole, our best box-to-box midfielder is Paul Pogba. So I have gone with Paul Pogba, although I do believe he deserves to be dropped for Donny Van De Beek, which could be a bit hypocritical of me because I am dropping Maguire for that bad performance. But I think like what Paul Pogba can offer is more than what Donny Van De Beek can offer, but Donny Van De Beek deserves to get in there over Paul Pogba. But I just saw how good Paul Pogba was for France the last 2 games, and I'm like, if he can do that for Manchester United, like, brilliant. Do it. Yeah, literally. So you know what, you can disagree with that. I generally in our next game would play Donny Van De Beek over Paul Pogba, but I think overall as our strongest 11, Paul Pogba is probably better overall, but I would probably play Donny Van De Beek for our next game. Obviously Cam, the main man, Bruno Fernandes. Now like this video if you think Bruno Fernandes should be Manchester United captain. Bruno Fernandes for me is the best player at the club. He's the main man. You got to hit that like button if you think he should be captain. Left wing, so my wingers, let's just go with my wingers. I've gone with Rashford and Greenwood. Rashford, obviously our best left winger at the club. You could say Cavani, striker, Martial left wing. You know, everyone's going to have their different ideas, but Rashford and Greenwood. I want to see more of Daniel James. Lingard looks like he's staying. Like Lingard actually awful last season, but I think Lingard has actually started the season well. Even though he's played like 3 games, it actually looked alright. But it's obviously Marcus Rashford, it's obviously Mason Greenwood. You know, that I feel like that's an obvious one. And then striker, I've gone with Anthony Martial. There's no way Agallo's getting in. Cavani got 4 goals last season. Martial got over 20. You've got to put Martial in. It'll be interesting to see how Cavani does. But that, for me, is Manchester United's strongest 11. But I'm going to talk about backups in each position. So goalkeeper, backup, Dean Henderson. Right back, backup, Brandon Williams. Left back, backup, Shaw. I think Maguire should be backup for Lindelof. And I actually am going to put Tuanzebe as backup for Bailly because Tuanzebe has pace. Now my CDM backup, I've gone with Fred because I think Fred is better as a CDM and I think McTominay is better as a box-to-box. That's generally my opinion. When I see McTominay play as a box-to-box, I think McTominay is really good as a box-to-box. Like, before his injury and before Bruno came, McTominay was up there for Player of the Year last season. I think he won like 3 Player of the Month awards in a row, or like 2 in a row. And McTominay was really good up until he got injured about in December. Then he couldn't really get back in the team because Pogba was back, coronavirus, now he's been playing that position. But I put McTominay as backup box-to-box. Van De Beek is back up to Bruno, of course. Whenever Van De Beek's played, he's played well. We just want to see more of Van De Beek. Left wing backup, I've gone with Daniel James because I think he's better on the left. Right wing backup, you could choose between Mata and Lingard, and even our new signing Traore and Pellistri, but I've just gone with Mata because Mata's actually been quite good when he's played. And striker backup, I've gone with Cavani because I don't rate Agallo. Now Cavani could come and he could be just as bad as Agallo, but like, I think Cavani's a better player than Agallo. So that is my backup. So that is what I believe Manchester United's strongest 11 is, including transfers for the 2021 season. I think this is kind of how we'll line up. However, I think Ollie will not drop Maguire. But it's just my opinion. I would generally play Bailly and Lindelof. But we all have different opinions. So as I said at the start of the video, comment what you think Manchester United's strongest 11 is down below. And if you have not already, please hit that like button. Just go down below. Share this video. And there's no football on at the moment. And the transfer window's kind of ended and the news is a bit dry. So if you have any video suggestions or any topics you just want me to talk about relating to Manchester United, just let me know in the comment section down below. But once again, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.